Hi everyone, this is Martin from AMS Performance, and today is the first video in a series we're calling Shakedown. Now we're taking cars to Joy Autobahn South Track, which is a fantastic road course. A track that requires a good mix of speed, handling, and brakes to get around it quickly. Now, we're going to be taking these cars, assessing them stock, seeing what kind of base lap time numbers we can get, and also the trackability of the car. What is trackability? Trackability is how the oiling system, the coolant system, the brakes handle repeated abuse on track. And what's the first car we got? The new 2020 Toyota Supra. Now, frankly, I was quite surprised of how quick it was around the track. I was cutting consistent 138 lap times, really high 137, 137.8, 137.9, which is actually really quick for a stock car around the track. So I'm going to talk about the pros and cons, what I liked and didn't like about the car, and after that, we're going to watch a hot lap to see what the car did around the track. So starting with the things I liked about the car. I like the handling of the car. The overall lateral grip was really good, especially in the high-speed corners. It rewarded a good entry. Getting on the throttle early, you can steer the car with the throttle, steering input, and get it pretty neutral on the corner and get around there pretty quick. Also, the power of the stock car is actually pretty good. I was hitting 112 to 113 miles an hour in a back straight. Pretty good for a stock car, but always room for improvement. I'll talk about the brakes. Brakes were good, I liked them. They did what they needed to do. If you got them hard enough, they stopped the car, but also had some things I didn't like about them. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Probably the most surprising thing was the transmission. It's a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission, and it was really good. For being automatic, there was no slop, no loose torque converter. The drivetrains talked through the car, so as you let off throttle, there was feedback, there was drag on the drivetrain. So you really could use the throttle to drive the car, and had fantastic feedback. It shifted quickly. I was quite surprised in that. So now let's get things we didn't like about the car. One is low speed corners, low speed sustained corners really. So Autobahn corner 1, 2, it's almost 180 degrees. And what's typical of most OEMs is they'll build in some understeer in there. So if you didn't enter it right, the car would push out to the outside. So again, that's not great, but again, I know why I do that. They don't want to kill people through corners. But we'll work on that and make the car a little quicker there. Like I mentioned, the brakes. I like the brakes, but also didn't like them. So what happened after repeated abuse, the brake would get a little soft and mushy, and go down to the floor a little more, but also you get this kind of grinding feel. And I think what was happening is the stock pads were smearing on the rotor. And I didn't want to push it really hard because frankly, I didn't want to wreck the brakes, but maybe a simple pad and fluid change would fix that, and we'll find out. Other thing I like about the car was the mushy body feel. It wasn't really body roll, it's on transition. So left to rights and quick transitions, the whole thing would just kind of mush side to side. And I think it might be a combination of factory soft sidewall on the tires, the bushing and suspension components, but I think that will need to be addressed just to get a better feel, more precision on track with the car. And probably my least favorite thing about the car are the seats. Again, most OEM seats aren't good at supporting you on track, but to be faster on the track and have fun, you need precision. That means you need a light touch on the wheel. And in this case, you're being kind of thrown around. So you're using your legs, your arms to support yourself, and holding onto the wheel. So not a huge fan of that. And particularly in this car, it has some fake harness pass-throughs, which might look cool to some people from far away, but they're fake. And for a guy my size, 6'3", they're digging into my shoulder blades. So I did not like that. That's gonna have to be changed. But overall, super impressed with the car. Like I said, it ran consistent high 137, 138 lap times. All right, now that I've covered what I like and don't like about the Supra, let's get to the good part. Let's go to the track, see what actually runs for lap times, and see some cool in-car footage. power. We're going to make it faster. So stay tuned, go to our website, amsperformance.com, and see what we do next.